Oh, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. You're on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. What's going on, folks? Welcome in. You burnt out on the lifeboat yet this morning? Hopefully not, because we're going to try and let some light in. I've been struggling a little bit, as happens, and we're going to talk about it. When it's dark, let some light in. There's this part of me when I'm suffering, when I'm down in the dumps, that wants to hold on to those negative feelings, some crazy sick part of me. And you know what I think that is? I think that's the default setting. I think that I have been losing for so long. I don't know how to win. And I've talked about this a little bit on the show before. Let some light in this mofo, huh? I think that that's my default setting. My brain doesn't want to go to work. It just wants to get back to what it's used to. And what it's used to is being down in the dumps, not doing a whole lot, So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that phenomenon. We're going to talk about that fight in general. Nicola E., Jeremy Fowler, Dale Cox, what's going on, friends? Jane Aldrich, Scooby Lee, Deaudrey Gore, Flick Fox. Anyone else having YouTube glitches? My subscription page is all over the place, and Ben's live from last night is saying it happened an hour ago, and this stream was on my homepage, but not under the subs page. I am not experiencing any issues myself, but I haven't really spent a whole lot of time with YouTube today. I pretty much lurked in my dad's stream while I was doing some other work, and that's all I've done today on the YouTubes, so I don't know. Is anyone else having issues? Jeremy Fowler's not getting notifications. Robin Miners, good morning. This is a pretty sweet hoodie, right? I'm a fan of it. I'm definitely a fan of it. Thanks for that, by the way. I finally got literally all of my laundry done. There's still some to be folded over here, but we're going to do that today. I would like to do some painting today. I did not prepare it, so I guess not this moment. We're not going to do that during this show, but maybe afterwards. Okay, Kathy Johnson, what's going on? Welcome in. The Arabian Bard, Charlie Mullins, good to see you, brother. Martha Hornbostel, good to see you guys. Well, yeah, so the default setting, right? When I've been losing for so long, it's like my brain doesn't know how to win. It's like I don't know how to be okay with success, or I just don't know how to act or how to be. In general, and it's whack. It is really unfortunate because I have no reason to be unhappy. I mean, I guess I could come up with some if I tried real hard, right? But the reality is that I have a billion reasons to be really stoked, and I'm just not. I'm really unhappy. I'm really sad, just like epically sad. And I keep telling people this is a sad flame, and they keep asking me, "It's sad?" And I think it's sad, but maybe I'm just sad. I don't know. But this is my default setting, and I am aware of this, and it doesn't help a whole lot just to know what's going on in this sense. We talk about walking through the fire a lot, and it's one thing to know you got to walk through the fire. It's an entirely other thing to just walk through it and be okay. You know what I mean? And that's something that I'm dealing with right now. We can go back to my brain wants to go back to what it knows best, right? Failing. And when the pressure gets really bad, I absolutely isolate, hole up. I don't go outside, and I just kind of keep to myself. And I think that's for fear of hurting people. And I don't mean physically. I just mean I don't represent myself well when I'm in this headspace, right? I'm mean. I'm a mean person sometimes. And I don't like that. I don't like to have to know that I, acted in that way or treated someone that I care for deeply in such a way. So, I go into kind of this defensive mode, which isn't serving me, right? I need sunshine on my skin. I need to let the light in. That window stays open. I try to make sure that it's not a cave in here, and that does do some to help. But I tell you what, I have been journaling my butt off. I have been exercising. I have been eating lots of food. I've been drinking lots of water. I've been keeping to a pretty good routine, exercising, and I'm still a sad sack. I tell you what, sometimes it just is going to be like that. And especially, I mean, I spent 15 plus years just drinking and drugging literally every day. And now I wonder why I'm so sad all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's the norm. It's the norm for me to be on depressants. So now I'm not on depressants and I'm depressed. Imagine that. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. And you know, I'm definitely depressed, Geodrigor, 100%. And you know, these things do help, right? Obviously, like the journaling, the routine, the nutrition, the exercise, all of these things are massively helpful. Without them, I don't think I would be making it, right? I'm still able to be here and talk to you and put a smile on, even if it's fake. But you know, things could be better. I could not be super unhappy. Think about the gambler. He walks into a casino, puts $1 in a machine. This guy's been gambling 30 plus years, right? He hits a $150,000 jackpot, right? He could cover all of the losses he's ever had and just walk out the door and still make off like a bandit, still make a huge profit. He's not going to leave that building until he spends every cent. What is that? What's that phenomenon? That is exactly what we're talking about. That's the default setting. The default setting for him is failure, is losing the money, right? Is that moment right before we know whether we won or lost, right? That uncertainty, that angst, that anticipation. And that's exactly what we're dealing with. I'm not necessarily gambling, right? But that's what's going on in my brain. And, you know, it's a really good thing I took up painting and some other hobbies because I sorely need them right now. I'm really grateful that my dad is so on fire because I am not. But yeah, he's not going to leave that casino until he spends it all. If you spent 15 years of your life, if you spent a good portion of your life holding on to an emotion, you learn to cope with it. And then your brain gets used to it. Then you want to fix it, make changes, right? And the struggle is in doing so based on your brain not wanting to work. Your brain does not want to do this. It's used to something else, right? So this is going to be a grueling process of retraining our brains. It just is what it is. That's what it boils down to. Annika, good to see you. Welcome in. My brain is totally still healing and rebalancing itself from the drugs, but I will get through it. Thank you so much for saying this, Annika. It means a lot to me when you guys send me well wishes. Sometimes it makes me cry, which is a good thing. Honestly, I was not mentally stable for the first couple of years of recovery. And you know, I'm only in my second year, right? I haven't even hit the 2-year mark. February 24th, 1992. No, February 24th, 2023 is my sobriety date. So, you know, we're just going to keep on trucking. Everything's going so well, right? I've really never been in such a nice position. And there's also the cyclical fall trauma that I go through every year. So it's just a hard time. And you know how we're going to get through it? We're going to get through it by just maintaining the course, right? I don't solve temporary problems with permanent solutions. Let that sink in. Now there's an elephant in the room, right? A permanent solution to a temporary problem. And I would like to not say it, but there's a billion different permanent solutions to temporary problems, but there's one really big, ugly dragon of one. And, you know, we make sure to keep things in perspective, right? This is temporary. This too shall pass, right? There's no need to do anything drastic. There's no need to freak out. You know, honestly, if I can just weather the storm, everything's going to be just fine. In fact, it's going to be better than just fine, right? If I can just make it one more day. And I think that's another reason they do the 1 day at a time thing in the 12 steps, right? 1 day at a time. Sometimes it's like moment by moment, right? Sometimes I'm just getting to the next moment. But that's important. It's very important, especially when we're down in the dumps, especially when we're depressed, especially when we're not feeling 100%, when we're not feeling like we can conquer the world, when we're feeling like we want to hide away, right? Or we want to run away even. Those are the times that it's most important to keep things in perspective, right? Because it's very easy to get wrapped up in a brain tornado, right? The ants, and then just run out and take action recklessly, which is not what we want to do. That's going to land us back in our addiction, in jail, hurting somebody, hurting ourselves, that's going to land us in a bad place regardless. Not a good place. Zero chance of that. Annika says, the first 2 years for me were the worst. I was so depressed, truly thought I was going to die, but it's suddenly almost been 6 years. And I'm much more stable these days. Some days are still hard, of course. And I think there's always going to be hard days. But what we've been through makes us stronger, right? And I try to remind myself of that. Like, I'm here. I'm 32 years old. And a bunch of those years were pretty raw. They were pretty raw. So, I've already conquered a lot. I was going to say something about, what was it? Bum, bum, bum. Is it in my other note? Yes. My dad likes to say live as if a lot. And that saying, fake it till you make it. Well, I tell you what, if you fake something long enough, it becomes a habit and then it becomes real. I'm not a big fan of faking it, but I'm going to live as if everything's okay. I'm going to live as if I'm making waves. And I actually literally am making waves. That's the craziest part about this whole thing is I'm like doing so much for myself. I'm elevating. I'm higher than I've ever been. And I don't mean like on substances. I just mean like as a physical elevation. Like I'm as high up the staircase of life as I ever have been, and on the flip side, I don't feel the worst I've ever felt, but I don't feel great. It's not a mirror. It's not a mirror of feeling to accomplishment, right? Which is really whack. If I hadn't done all of this to my brain would be telling me, good job, dude, you're so cool. Instead it's telling me, dude, go shut yourself in your room and don't talk to anybody. Jeremy Fowler says, Captain, I often keep reminding myself of the 8-minute rule. Dude, I have been using this so much the past few days. A quick reset is a great way to crawl out of the darkness. I'm definitely going to go do as many pull-ups as I possibly can today until my back says, hell no. That's going to be that's going to be more than 8 minutes, but we're going to string a bunch of 8 minutes together for that one. That's one of my go-tos is to just work out so friggin' hard that I can't think about other stuff. I come back and I actually need to take a nap. That helps me a ton. But I also have to say this isn't very good for my sleep routine. I was up for hours last night talking to my little sister, which needed to happen. She's going through it. I'm going through it. We are going through it. And, I take for granted how similar we are. And I am pretty much, I've always been a role model in her life. In fact, I don't want to take anything away from my dad because he's the role model, right? But when he wasn't around, I was the role model, right? So I think that there's still some rapport from that, right? She calls me a lot with her problems, and we spoke for hours last night. I was up way too late, but it was worth it. It was very fulfilling. I felt really, really good after. It was time well spent. It was energy very well spent because she needed me. And I didn't know it until afterwards, but I needed her. Shout out to my sister Cedar. I love her. Mocked, good to see you. Deeming, what's going on? William PMCD says, fake it till you make it is rubbish. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. We like to say live as if. It sounds a whole lot better. I tell you what. Deeming, what's going on? Hi, Spanx. I'm right there with you. Trying to get into some new hobbies. Painting helps calm my anxiety. Well, we're definitely going to do some painting today. I've got at least 2 more canvases, I think 3, before I have to go back to the store. And I haven't run out of white yet, so which is definitely going to be the first color I run out of, 100% easily. ASAP Lizzie, what's going on? Hi, Captain and crew. Happy Sunday. My hope for you, Spanx, is that you do break those downer chains. I think it gets harder as you age. I've been considering going to a psychiatrist. It's been pretty bad. And I was reading about psychiatry in Tucson. And I guess after the pandemic, it's not just a Tucson thing, but after the pandemic, the workforce of people working in mental health was far diminished, and then the demand for it went way up. So it's pretty difficult in my country. I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but at least in the USA, it's pretty difficult, quite a task to get yourself a physician of that sort these days, which is intimidating. I don't know if I'll actually seek that out. But, when things get real bad, I definitely consider it every time. Maybe I could just fix everything with like some ADHD medication. Who knows? I don't friggin' think so, though. I think that's a pipe dream. You sound like a great older brother. Thank you, Kristen. I really appreciate that. You made something for me. Oh my. Yeah, that sunny piece is my favorite one. Here, hold on. Let's switch them out. Sad flame. Super duper sad flame. Yeah, I like that one a lot. One more thing. I'm going to go up and read what Jane's saying. I have not been as involved in the chat as I would like to be. Let me catch up. Miss Dragon, good to see you. You're not alone, Spanx. I feel you. I've been in a deep depression for years now and slowly making my way through it thanks to you all. I have some good days and then we'll plummet for a while. Continue. That sounds like me. Kristen's in a funk. Yeah, Beta, I need to get, maybe, I'm not going to do that right this second, but I really need to just create a new email. I will be doing that today. I know I say that every time. I actually will do it today, and I will be sharing it with you when we do painting later. We believe in medically assisted help for addiction. Why not medically assisted help for depression? No, I mean, I'm not saying that. I agree with you 100%. I personally have a hard time coming to that table, and we've talked about that a little bit before. But my experience with medical assist has been absolutely atrocious in my life. So, I mean, this is just a hard table for me to come eat dinner at, the medical assisted. Like, I believe in it, right? It literally saved my dad's life. But like for me personally, to like accept that as a solution for myself is very hard. And that's just because of my experience with ADHD medication when I was a kid. They had me on so much crazy stuff, man, from the time I was 6 years old until I had a choice, until I was like, I don't even know if I had a choice at 15, but I refused to take it anymore. It was a big deal. It was a big fight at my house. But, and ever since then, I never looked back until recently, actually, until the depression was really, really bad. And it does come in waves. It's not like I'm consistently feeling this way, right? Like, for example, very weirdly, maybe not so weirdly, maybe it totally makes sense. I'm totally going to get to your comments, Jane, I promise. Before I lose this thought, though. Yesterday, I was feeling absolutely atrocious all day long. And I did, my house is so friggin' clean. I cleaned the kitchen. I did all the dishes. I did all the laundry. I started scrubbing floors. I cleaned the bath. That's like one of the things that I do when I'm not feeling good, because if my environment feels better, it's kind of like making your bed in the morning. It's the same concept, except on a bigger scale, right? If I have a clean house, I feel good about myself. I feel proud. I feel like it's working, like things are going well. So I did all of that. None of it's helping. Did exercise. I went to the pool even. I did so much crap yesterday. Just nothing helps. As soon as the sun went down, I felt amazing, which is very strange, right? The vitamin D is supposed to be coming from the sun or whatever. I think it's vitamin D. Whatever I get from the sun, I don't know if it was like delayed. What's going on? For a place that is a barren desert, we sure do have connection issues. What the heck? Just for today. Just for today. All right, 2 out of 2, Jane Aldrich says, at those times I look around and think everything is basically okay. But I can't bring myself to accept it. I can't get past the overwhelming guilt, fear, etc. I find myself wanting to hide. This totally sounds like me. And the conclusion, I skipped it. Where'd it go? Doing my best to push through it using what I've learned here. It's hard, and sometimes I think this new concept of self-care comes into play by spending time alone and turning to music to the end. Absolutely. I mean, I constantly have music playing until I get sick of it, and then I'll have moments of silence, right? But the music helps me a ton. In fact, I had to put music on to go to bed last night, which I don't normally do. I used to do that a lot when I was younger, but I literally needed background noise. Next to zero inpatient capacity. That sounds like us as well. It's pretty wild, huh? Comment. Body Illusion says, Spanx, I messaged you other restrained painting with you. I hope it makes you smile. I totally saw that. I was messaging him earlier today, and I forgot that was your son, and it got a little weird. So I hope he didn't take it personally or anything. I just forgot who he was, and I'm kind of a jerk for doing that, but waiting for him to message me back. We were talking about hanging out, and I was like, why would we do that? Because I forgot who it was, and I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. So if you're out there, I didn't mean it, man. I just got a lot on my mind, and I totally want to hang out. A psychiatrist will make recommendations regarding medications and other medical interventions. Maybe it would be better to start with talk therapy, LPC, or similar. Just a thought. This is also something that I think about often. And I have some serious issues, guys. My ego starts to get all crazy. Like, if he's not smart, I can't have a conversation with him. And I got some demons in me when it comes to like medicine and psychiatry and psychology and people in these positions. I have some damage. I have some trauma inside me. So I either just need to bite the bullet or figure it out without them. And I might do the back and forth quite a bit until then. I might just kind of swing back and forth between extremes until I get sick and tired of it. That seems to be my way. Miss Chief, good to see you. I have days, sometimes weeks, where I just want to anesthetize myself. Me too. Anesthetize. One day at a time still plays a huge part in my recovery, and I'm sober 25 years, yo. My trophy is for you. That's such a long time. Holy crap. One day this is going to be me, Miss Chief. One day at a time, we're going to get 365 times 25, 100%. I was told there would be no math, but that's a lot. That is a lot. That's really cool. And thank you for these words. They help a lot. I tell you what. Claudia Harrigan, hello there. I don't think I've ever said hello to you. Hello there. Welcome aboard. I force myself to take long walks with my dog Maisie, says Claudia, when the weather is nice. I always feel better, sometimes a smidge, sometimes big time. As soon as the diatomaceous earth is cleaned up, I'm getting a cat. And, I told my sister that. She got really excited, and she was like, you're going to adopt, right? And I said, you know what? I think someone I know is going to just magically have like a litter of kittens, and then they're going to want to, need people to take care of one. So keep your fingers crossed, send those thoughts and energy out into the universe. Let's bring me a kitten, that just happened to be birthed next door or something. I want a divine little kitten that just kind of flies into my life, and I will have it. It is definitely that time of the year, Jeremy, 100%. Seems like everyone is getting back into the winter depression. Fight it. And, maybe it's something to do with like just the seasons as well as what I've been through during those seasons, right? It's probably doubly so for me. I could not get Lucy off my mind yesterday. And, she's on my mind right now. And it's, the craziest thing, when I think of Takara, I think of Lucy, and it drives me absolutely nuts. I can't let it go. And can't's the wrong word there. I have not been able to let her go, dude. And I have let her go, but I haven't let her go. Does that make sense? She left a lasting mark on me, dude. And not the good kind. I will definitely be putting myself on a list. But man, so what happens when I fire my counselor? Let's say if. What happens if I fire my counselor? Do I have to go back on the list? I will blow a gasket. And then again, let's just identify real quick. I said I will blow a gasket if this and this happens. That is a reservation. We don't do those. We don't make reservations. That's like calling the restaurant and being like, all right, I'm going to be over there like 5 p.m. This is going to happen. We're going to do some drugs. Click. Reservations are a one-way street to relapse, folks. So as I catch myself saying stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and call myself on it. I appreciate you witnessing. Witness me! Witness me! You know? You know? Reading. I have more to say about what we were talking about, though. When things are going good, our brains say no. Nope, I don't think this is right. The default setting equals failure. And honestly, the default setting is whatever you spent the most time doing, right? It could be sadness, rage. It could be feeling like small and not enough, right? It could be anything. And this is something that I don't know if it's like a 1-to-1 ratio with the amount of time spent, but I spent at least 15 years feeling little, feeling angry, feeling sad, feeling unimportant, feeling like a fly on the wall, you know? And hopefully I don't need to spend 15 years feeling a different way to try and combat that, because that's going to turn into 20 or 30 if it's a 1-to-1 ratio, because I'm not feeling that great all the time, right? But regardless, I don't need to think about all that. That's getting far too ahead of myself, right? One day at a time. Right now, this is what's going on, and this boat's helping me a ton. I feel a lot better than when I started already. Just talking to you guys really, really benefits me. And, when I'm not feeling good, I do not want to come on and do this, which is crazy because it helps me, right? But when I'm not feeling good, I just want to go lay down in my bed forever. Therapy for adult children of alcoholics would bring you answers to many questions you have. Maybe a book for a start. Therapy for adult children of alcoholics. Does this have another name? Is this Al-Anon? Is this like a group thing, or is this like a therapist thing? The nearest body of water would change my life, although the pool doesn't really count. I mean, it kind of does. I will get in it today, but like a lake or something would be way cooler. Yeah, I was playing a bunch of guitar yesterday. I actually had it sitting right here, but I bumped it a little bit and it like kind of almost fell. So I was like, oh, I'll put it back in its case. I want like one of those stand-up stands so that I can have it at hand all the time. There's something about taking it in and out of the case that is kind of a drag, but I mean, the case is great. It serves a great purpose. And I still got it, folks. I can totally still play. I can't play with people. That's something I never learned, but I can still do arpeggios and I can still do all kinds of crazy stuff, which is really fun. It makes me feel good. Deeming says, I'm craving alone time like it's an addiction. I know it's not healthy, but after being a caretaker for years, I'm drained. And I feel very similar. I feel I wasn't a caretaker or anything like that, but I've been craving isolation. And that's my default setting though, right? I spent so much time alone, not feeling like much of anything. That's where I'm the most comfortable. Isn't that wild? There is a cat distribution system. What? One will come to you. That's what I'm talking about right there. DeAudrey Gore knows what I'm talking about. We need to get that CDS right now. Turn that sucker on. I want the stork to come just drop a sack of kittens on my doorstep. I'm excited. I'm really excited about the prospect. Why is this guy on the lifeboat, and who is he? Says Jackie Moorbacher. Well, my name is Spanx Calhoun, or Michael, if you prefer, and I am Tommy's son. I am El Capitan of the lifeboat. You will be seeing a lot of me. Welcome to the boat. Welcome aboard. I assume you're new. The water's warm. Stay a while. Jason P., what's going on, big dog? Good to see you. I was really having fun smashing trolls with you earlier, dude. You were beating me to it more than once, so it was kind of funny. I was laughing. Tried to diagnose me as a sociopath. Said it's because I'm a DVSA survivor and recovering addict. I was so sick. Well, you know what? I don't think you're a sociopath. And for to go to a counselor and have them say that to me, I feel like is a slap in the face. Like, yo, what am I paying you for? What the hell? You know what I mean? Pardon my language. Forgive me. Absolutely, Jackie. I'm glad you're here. It's not always, there's a lot going on this channel. It's not always obvious what's going on. So I try to be a bridge. My dad's very tunnel vision. He's very driven. You know, he really gets in there and gets it done. But I have a broader view of things. And also I think my dad's view is like very long range as well. And I kind of just see what's right in front of me. And then kind of like the big picture. We balance each other very well. He sees things that I don't, and I see things that he doesn't. And together we make a pretty sweet deal. In fact, I'm just going to say it. I'm not a huge fan of the true crime stuff. But gosh darn, is it really good for the boat. It really gets our message out to more and more people every time we do it. So I'm really glad that he's super duper into it. And I'm looking to find some ways that I can contribute in that regard as well. There's actually a story. I don't really want to talk about it too much because it's still developing, but in Washington State, there's a 12-year-old or a 15-year-old that killed his whole family, and his little sister escaped. He killed everybody with his dad's Glock. Apparently he had the combination to the safe, but the little sister got shot, but like played dead and ran out the window and went to the neighbor's house. And the kid called the cops, the boy, the one that did the slayings, and tried to blame it on his little brother who he had killed, and said his little brother also killed himself. Obviously that didn't play out very well for him. So we're going to be talking about this Kings County thing here in a little while. I mean, it's still developing. That's pretty much the story, right? What was that? 40 seconds. So I need a little more information. I need things to develop a little further, and I might be bringing that to you. But I have to say, it's not my favorite thing to do. Not my favorite thing to do. My grandma's really into watching like Special Victims Unit and like Law and Order and all that kind of stuff. And man, sometimes I'll walk in on her watching that show and be like, "Good Lord, Graham, what are you watching?" Grandma's just watching all kinds of smut on the TV. But you know, people are really into it, and that is the purpose, right? The purpose is to reach as many people with our message as possible, because our message doesn't get pushed by the algorithm, right? Love and light is not doesn't sell ads or whatever YouTube cares about, right? But what we care about is changing the world. What we care about is one person at a time. What we care about is harm reduction. What we care about is living a better life. What we care about is all our brothers and sisters that didn't friggin' make it. You know what I mean? What we care about is the lack of mental health support in the world, not just this country, right? The lack of substance abuse assistance, of knowledge, just very misunderstood things. So that's what this channel stands for. And the true crime is such a good vehicle for that, I tell you what. So thanks for being here. Carla Norris, I see you. I so miss the days when a grandma hug could fix everything. Me too. Me too. I'm super far up in chat. I'm going to get current, and I'm going to skip a bunch of stuff, guys. And we're back. Shimmy do boo wah bee. What's going on? Howdy there, gang gang. I said your name wrong. Please forgive. Regine Benjamin, good to see you. 20 minutes from your home, Galen. Wow, that must be hitting pretty home. I'm sorry that this has happened in your community, dude. That's wild. That is not what we want. I think growth is Tommy's coverage of recent criminal cases. Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Are the increase in trolls because of the growth of the channel? My goodness, yes, absolutely. And also, they come in waves. It's really like, it's like Five Guys. And I don't mean the burger joint. I mean, every single troll that you see in here is one of 5 people. And it actually might be one of 20 people, but there's only like one that's actually making moves. I forget exactly how it boils down, but there's just a couple people out there that really, really don't like us. And it comes down to personal relationships, honestly. Yeah. It comes down to personal relationships. The OG original troll was supposed to be our first interview. And went absolutely bat-poo crazy on us. Absolutely just threw everything except the phone book at us. It was pretty wild. And 3 years later, still doing it. It's crazy. And this guy's not making money doing this stuff. I wonder what he's obsessed with us. I guess that's okay. I would prefer it if he would just let it go, but it's okay. Whatever. I don't look at any of that stuff unless I absolutely have to, I guess. And even then, I begrudgingly will look at it a little bit, I guess. I definitely have the urge now and again. Yesterday, for sure. I was considering. We journaled about it a ton. A ton. Interesting, Claudia. I have a CD called Brain Spotting by David Grand, PhD. It's a bilateral sound recording, must be used with headphones. Stimulates the left to right brain hemispheres. Below conscious thinking. Very, very interesting. There was a episode of Dexters Laboratory on Cartoon Network when I was a kid where he had to learn Spanish for a test or something, and he created a device that would teach him Spanish while he slept. But it was like based on a record player, and he went to sleep and hit the button on it and just fell soundly asleep, and then the record started skipping on omelet with cheese, which in French, pardon me, it's French, which is, I guess, omelette du fromage. When he woke up, it had said omelette du fromage over and over and over all night long, and all he knew how to say when he woke up was omelette du fromage. And it was a pretty funny episode, I have to say. Can you treat the love for Lucy as another addiction? Deeming I love you so much. Use the steps. Replace the words addiction and alcohol with her name? Absolutely. I've never considered this. In fact, I'm going to... You see that sigh? I so don't want to do this work. No, this is what needs to happen, though. I'm going to write this down. I feel like I'm constantly working on myself. And it gets tiring, man. But I'm better for it every time. I wonder what it would be like to not have all these issues that I need to deal with. I guess it would be like being an ignorant, rude jerk, right? Because I would be a person that doesn't work on themselves, right? So I guess there's really no choice. I just keep working on it. Treat love for Lucy. I'm gonna use her real name as another addiction. This is genius. Thank you so much, Deeming. Cool. Fantastic. I love it. Shelly Kelly, good to see you. Welcome in. Is this the bilateral? I should have written that down too, dudes and dudettes. Jeremy Fowler says 100% Spanx. My ex-wife did some real damage too. 4 years later, still having dreams and nightmares about our life. This boat does a lot of the healing work for me. Thanks all. I'm so glad to hear that, dude. Like the fact that we're making a difference blows my mind and just is something that I can't fully comprehend, you know? And I think part of it, and I can only speak for myself here, Jeremy, but I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. And dude, I was writing some crazy stuff in my journal the other day about this. It was very insightful, though. Please hold. There it is. Am I not over Lucy? Why do these thoughts come every year? Maybe because I thought she was the one. Maybe I should let go of these fantasies. Maybe there is no one. maybe there is right now. I thought that was prolific AF. I had never considered that before. I am a hopeless romantic all the way, and that might be something that I'm choosing into that's hurting me, right? Like I believe in true love and, I believe in love, right? But maybe I should just focus on what's right now, right? Maybe I should let go of this fantasy that was Lucy, that could be someone else, right? Maybe I just need to let that crap go, those childhood fantasies. I don't know. I'm definitely on the fence on it for sure, but I had never considered that before yesterday. And I think that is poignant, to say the least. Captain, did you meet her in the fall? Yes, I did. Her birthday's in the fall. We did a lot of stuff in the fall. We took a trip to Tucson for my cousin's wedding in the fall. We drove out to meet her family in Arkansas in December. Her birthday's in December. We broke up in December. We shared a family Christmas, even though we wanted to kill each other that year, because it was the right thing to do. It was a lot. It was a lot going on in the fall. And man, we had a picturesque life. I tell you what, it was beautiful. It could have been wonderful, but we couldn't get out of our own ways. That's right, Robin. That is right. If she was the one you'd be together, what was the quality she had that you think was perfect? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing about her was perfect. That's a terrible thing to say. I may regret saying that. Now I'm trying to find qualities. Perfect's the wrong word, for sure, but I'll tell you what quality she didn't have. Well, maybe that's the wrong way to go about that. She was very sweet when she chose to be. She was very creative, playful, smiling, giggling, right? She was a bright, shining light. But, she could turn that switch off like that and just be a demon. And that was something I had a really hard time dealing with. I definitely miss her giggling, smiling, playful attitude. Let's go jump around in the sun. Literally every time the sun's shining. She just wants to go play in the sun. I loved that about her so much. But, it was not to be. Well, that tripped me out for a second. I saw this hand in the camera, and I knew this hand was on the trophy, and I was like, where's the trophy? Oh, wait, that's my wrong hand. Okay. Christian B, been a long time, my brother. Good to see you. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing all right. I've been better, man, but I'm just going through cyclical, seasonal trauma, right? So it's nothing new. We're just getting through it together. You feel me? You feel me? You have good instincts, Spanx, says Deeming. You want love and family. That's normal. You might just be putting Lucy's face in that spot. 100%. And if I learned one thing from the 40-year-old virgin, it's don't put on the pedestal, So I shouldn't be putting her there. She doesn't belong there, I have kissed a lot of frogs, Miss Chief, and I really enjoyed about 90% of them. I enjoyed most of them. Yes, I can see it now. My mother always told me, says Body Illusion, we weren't meant to be with someone. She tried 4 times and I haven't been married in 40 years. She seems to be right. I don't think it's for everyone. And sometimes I wonder if it's for me, and then I remind myself, I get to decide what's for me. I get to choose that. I get to decide what comes into my space. I'm the proprietor of this bubble. You know what I mean? Like I am in charge, go do this, go do that. I have a chair. I'm kind of like that, but less funny. James Collins cares. We can't choose who we love, sadly. 100%. We are definitely slaves to our own emotions, at least in that regard. That was another thing about her that really bugged me is, and I don't know if it has to do with her astrology or the way she was raised or what, but she would have a really hard time letting things go. Right? We would talk about stuff, discuss things. And if something like really got to her, she literally couldn't let it go. Like she was like a steaming pot. Like she was boiling water. And I would bring it up too. And like even the knowledge of what is going on in her head didn't assist her in like breaking that cycle. And in fact, it was to the point like this happened so often. And we were really good communicators when we could communicate, right? But that would break down. But even like exploring and deep diving on this phenomenon that would happen, she was incapable. And when I say that, I say that because like she was doing her best. You know what I mean? Like I know for a fact, like she didn't want to be that way. She was literally trying to break that cycle and just failing over and over and over. And it's really tragic thinking back on it. Like if we had met at a different time, maybe it would have been different. But that thought is poison because that's not the truth. That will never be the case. It's too late for that now. Cat dog is an excellent idea. I'm so getting a cat. I can't wait. It gets me thinking about another being, gets me out of my own head. 100%. 100%. Like literally, there's not a whole lot that I have to do. You know, I have to pay my bills. I have to X, Y, and Z, but I can afford to go lay in bed and not do anything, which is like, I can't mentally or emotionally afford to do that, but physically, yeah, sure. Right. There's really no reason. Like if I don't know, I think that's a terrible reason to get a pet, but it is going to help in that regard. Do I have cat names yet? No, the cat's going to name itself. It's going to do something fun and we'll give it a name. It's got to earn its name. For example, do you guys remember the pictures of my kittens that Takara and I had? Parkour got his name because he was literally jumping around all the time. I would walk in the door and he would see me and he would just, if I wasn't ready, it didn't matter. He would run and jump from the floor to my shoulders and he would perch there. He was a shoulder cat. I was going to pull up pictures, but I'm not going to. So we called him Parkour. And then Bubbles was just such a sweet little sweetie pie. We called her Bubbles. I remember Cat Dog, just a little cat dog. I want to learn to play that intro song on my guitar. Little cat dog. Actually, Spanx, money is part of the deal. Vet bills are outrageous, and we all know everything's expensive now. Yeah, this is an anxiety that I have, but am I going to let that stop me? Maybe. It's possible. I love this, Annika. We saved an orange tabby in my first year of recovery. He literally gave me a reason to wake up every day as I was going through a corrupt DCYF case. I swear he kept me alive during the darkness of it. And I hear this sort of testimonial all the time. And my ego says, I don't need all that, this, that, and the other. But man, maybe I deserve a little companion, right? Maybe it's not about my ego at all. Maybe it's about my heart and my soul. Yeah, my entire childhood, Jeremy Fowler, I tell you what, bow down, little cat dog. That song is so good too. I love that song. What a weird cartoon. Like one of the weirdest. It would come on right after Hey Arnold, I remember. Football Head. Nickelodeon was pretty great back in the day. Yeah, the way you wrote this, Deeming, is like if cat dog was in word form, that's what it would look like because the cat dog is a cat, half dog. Like there's heads on both sides. Like they're like butts are attached kind of. So anyways. Yeah, as far as cat names go, I definitely feel like it's going to organically come about. I don't like giving animals like human names. I'm not saying I judge people to do that. I'm just saying like I feel like they deserve cool names like Zeus or Bubbles or Parkour or I don't know, some weird name that describes their activities and their behavior. Sometimes the baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. Shimmy dooba wabi. Stray cat strut. Let's go. Let's get there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. My dog's name is Lunchbox. She is 160-pound King Corso. Oh my. Yo, I gotta bust out some old photos now. I dated a girl once that had a King Corso. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's Cane Corso. You own one. You probably know what you're talking about, and I've just been saying it wrong all these years. But Cane Corso mixed with a blue nose pit. His name was Sharky, and he had the little pit bull body, not little, but the little pit bull legs, but the big mastiff head. Cutest dog of all time. And I miss little Sharky. And when I left that relationship, he took it so hard. Our relationship forever changed when I left, me and Sharky. I'm going to pull up some photos of the shark for you. Him and Princess Marie was the other, was the other rescue we had. The cutest pups, the cutest puppers. Password I entered is incorrect. Can you guys believe that? Hi, just got here. Did you guys get a new cat? No, we're talking about one though. I definitely, as soon as I get the diatomaceous earth cleaned up and it's safe for a kitty, I would like to get one. That's my plan. Definitely my plans. All right, let's see if we can find us some pictures of the Sharkster. Literal cutest dog ever. Well, I mean, everyone's dog is the cutest dog ever, right? All right, what are we doing here? Present, share screen. This is Princess Marie. And this is the Sharkster. Look at his little face. He is just loving life right there. I miss that guy. I miss that guy. I tell you what. I tell you what. ASAP Lizzie, I love your pet names. Fergus, Hamish, Magnus, and now my first girl, Finlay. I'm into the whole Hamish name. I like that. I can't remember where I've heard that before, but I like that name a lot. Is it National Black Cat Day, FYI? Interesting. I actually I have diatomaceous earth all over the place, and I have an exterminator coming by like every other week, leaving bait for them that makes them infertile. So maybe a couple generations down the line, there won't be any more. But the good news is their generations are pretty quick. And as far as my apartment goes, I have maybe seen like one a day, which is a huge improvement. The apartment next door is vacant and has been for a while, I guess. And they have a crazy infestation in that place. So the exterminator is a cool dude. When he comes over, we chat. He apprises me of the situation. We kind of BS a little bit, but he told me when he can handle that unit, it'll be a permanent solution, and I believe him. So the bait he's been leaving and the stuff he's been spraying has been doing a wonderful job. I almost forget that they're there now, which is really cool. Hamish is Scottish. Interesting. Yeah, 100%. They like to be on the electrical stuff. The digital clock on my stove can't be that warm, right? But it's warm enough for them to, they'll obscure the numbers. They'll go between the screen and the numbers. And I'll try and squish them, and the screen doesn't give enough to do any damage. So they're safe in there. Aren't those puppies adorbs? Trixie. I do love Trixie. I do love Trixie. Every time we touch down, it's a touchdown. All right, I think I'm gonna get out of here. One more thing though, this picture of me and sharks, I have an eyebrow ring. You guys see that? See that rose gold? I got that knocked out at a metal show. I was in a mosh pit that I had no business being in, and I woke up on the floor and I didn't want to be there anymore. And I never really got to see that band, which really sucks. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. Okay, one more. I can't help myself. She used to take photos when we were sleeping because the dogs would just cuddle the crap out of me. And it's just so cute. I miss those dogs a lot. I have been painting, and also Rise Higher. We will be doing some painting later today. I just need to take a break and get some stuff together. Yeah. We're going to go for a happier painting today with a happy palette. So I'm not entirely sure what that's going to turn out to, but we're going to go for it. We are going to go for it. Wharton Fistle, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you. You've had your contact knocked out in the pit? Bro, I can't imagine that. Holy crap. Yeah, the eyebrow ring, I miss it, but I don't think I'm going to get another one. I would bang it on all kinds of stuff. I was an electrician at the time, and I would be like carrying a panel down the stairs and like bang my eyebrow ring on the panel because it's bigger. Your eyebrow is like now it takes up more space than it used to. So your brain like needs to understand exactly how big your face is. I've had a lot of piercings. I used to have snake bites that changed the way that my mouth worked, whether it was eating, kissing, talking, whistling. Nothing worked the same anymore. That was a pain in the dick, I have to say. All right, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a big difference. I don't know what my dad's plans are. I know that he will be doing another show today, and I will as well. I'm going to coordinate with him because I don't want to step on his little toesies. But we're gonna do some painting. I need at least an hour or so, maybe about 1. I'm gonna collaborate with my dad and make sure that I'm not going over his time, right? But we will be painting in an hour or so. How about that, guys? Thank you all for being here. Shout out to all the new people I met today: James, Claudia, Regine. I know there's more that I'm not seeing right in front of me right now, but it's my pleasure to meet all of you people. Welcome aboard. The Lifeboat would love to have you again. So please come back, say hello, drop me a comment, a like, let me know your thoughts, suggestions, questions, whatever suits your heart's fancy. And yeah, we'll see you next time. This has been The Lifeboat with Captain Calhoun. Go out there and do some good today. All right. Treat yourself nice. You deserve it.